Hey y'all, Rick, Fearless, Strokers Dallas, Strokers Ice House, Punch Wally Garage, Fearless Services. Good morning. How you doing? All right? Today is Sunday, June the 8th, 2025, year of our Lord, season number 3, episode number 159. I want to start today's show by saying happy 40th birthday to my oldest daughter, Chelsea. We call her the Rat. It seems impossible that I have a child that's 40 years old, but I do. I'm very proud of her, and I hope I get to hug on her later today or next couple of days. I love you, Rat. Okay, back to the show. In My Life, the 365 Project, coming to you almost live from almost downtown Dallas in the powerful CHUMP studio. Today's show is brought to you by Reliable Diamond Tool, that's ready2.com, REDITOO.com. Check them out for concrete and masonry working tools. Also brought to you by Simpson Motorcycle Helmets. If you got a $100 head, you should wear a $100 helmet. But if your head is priceless, like mine, don't mess up my hat, you should wear a Simpson. They are the best. We are a dealer. StrokersDallasMerch.com. Spire, S-P-I-R-E, ConstructionInc.com. They are a full-scale residential general contractor. Anything from your roof to your floor, your heating, your air conditioning. You want to remodel your kitchen? Well, you got SpireConstructionInc.com. My son-in-law, Elliot Presser, owns the company, and he'll give you the hookup. Mention my name. Maverick Harley-Davidson, Longhorn Harley-Davidson, the official Harley-Davidson dealers for Strokers Dallas and Strokers Ice House. Check those fine folks out. But right now, turn off that news and let's me and you take a stroll down memory lane. Today, the Mr. Peabody Wayback Machine goes back to 1974. So that's about when I got my first street legal car. It was different back then. Back in those days, very few people wore seatbelts. Like we've talked about before, you know, the kids rode in the back of the truck. And I mean, you would ride in the back of the truck across the country. Can you imagine doing that today? Going down the highway and a truck passes you and it's got a bunch of kids in the back. Hey! And you could drink and drive. You just couldn't be drunk. You could drink a beer and drive, no problem. Just don't be intoxicated. That was normal. That was normal. The things that I see now is people tailgate. You know, when we took driver's ed, it was 1 car length for every 10 miles an hour. So if you're going 60 miles an hour, you wanted 6 car lengths between you and the car in front of you. Well, I still try to abide by that. But I'm telling you, I can go down the highway like I did last night going home, and there's these people driving 3 feet behind the car in front of them at 70 miles an hour. And they're all doing it, and they're weaving in and out of traffic, and oh yeah, they don't use blinkers. They taught us in school how to use a blinker. And they taught us in school, if you don't use a blinker, use your hand signal. Turn right, turn left. And I use that on my motorcycle, but they taught you to use that in a car too. It's a universal signal in case your blinkers don't work. These cars today don't have blinkers in them. They must not, because nobody uses them. I was behind a guy the other day in a Mercedes, and he didn't have a blinker. Followed him for 5 miles. He never used the blinker once. But that's the world we live in. That's the world we live in. So when check the office, I want to look at this hat. So this is a Strokers Dallas. This is the OG hat. Now this particular one has got the trucker style with the snapback. But I have these in stock, but I have a bunch of them that are flex fit. So you got small, medium, and large, extra large flex fit. I got one of them over here, right here. So this is the flex fit. It's got my little logo on the back. This is the OG hat. StrokersDallasMerch.com. Let's check that chuck. Check that chuck, you big ol'. Ooh, you got those purple chucks. It's kind of a lavender purple. I like that logo. And the tongue is brown. That's brown. White toe, white sole. Double black racing stripes, 2 vent hose, black shoestrings, 1 eye down, double knotted for safety. These are, say it with me, y'all, these are some handsome chucks. Okay, what was Grandma Goldie doing 76 years ago today? June 8th, 1949 was a Wednesday. Grandma wrote, I sewed today, I made myself 2 dresses. Good for you, Grandma. Dad joke. This one comes courtesy of my friend Laura and her husband Scooter in Minneapolis. I think they're in Brooklyn Park. I don't remember. This is what Laura told me yesterday. You know, a do not touch sign has to be the scariest thing to read in Braille. You're reading Braille and it says do not touch. Thank you, Laura. Get off the couch, a motivational minute. Never argue with a fool. They will drag you down to their level and beat you with experience. We get fools come in here all the time, and I'm nice as I can be with them, to a point. We had one in here the other day, and she was blowing and blowing, and I didn't see her till the very end. I didn't see her up here till she got to the bar. And then when I went over to the bar, somebody pointed me out, and so she came up and started running their chops. Loud, and she introduced herself to me, and then she introduced the fella she was with and said, this is my Uber driver. So after she rattled for about 30 seconds, I told the Uber driver that there's another bar not far from here. I said, that's where you should take her. Take her to that bar. She got the hint and they left. So when Rat was born, Chelsea Fairless, she was a little sickly at birth. So they kept her in the hospital for a week, and I would go down and see her every week. And she had to gain so much weight and weigh so much before I could take her home. So I'd go down there and I'd feed her, and she'd sleep through the feeding, and one of the nurses said, tickle her feet. And I said, what's that? She said, tickle her feet when you're feeding her, and it'll make her mad, and she'll fight and drink more milk. And it worked. So they called me on Sunday, I think was June 16th, which was Father's Day, and said, if you want to come get your daughter tomorrow, come get her. I begged them to let me come get them. I said, it's Father's Day. Can I please come get my daughter today? And the lady said, sure, come get your daughter today. Best Father's Day present I ever had. So happy birthday, Rat. Happy 40th birthday. She is getting married in November, and I'll be the proudest guy in town. All right, happy birthday. I got to go. Love you, Alice. Bye, y'all. Love you too, Rat.